Have you ever wondered why some people rise to the top, while others stay stuck in the same place their entire lives? It's not luck, it's not even talent, it's a decision. A decision to stop following and start leading. The truth is, there are two kinds of people in this world, leaders and followers. Which one are you? Before you answer, listen carefully, because the difference between these two paths could decide your entire future. Most people spend their whole lives waiting for the right opportunity. They hope that someday, somehow, things will just fall into place. But let me tell you something. Opportunity doesn't just knock on your door. Leaders create it, followers wait for it, and those who wait end up waiting forever. This is why the world's greatest fortunes, the names you admire, Carnegie, Ford, Rockefeller, Bezos, they didn't start rich. They started with nothing but a burning desire and a decision to lead. Every empire you see today started with one person who refused to remain a follower. And here's the part most people miss. Being a follower is not shameful. In fact, almost every great leader began as a follower. But they were not ordinary followers. They were intelligent followers. They followed with purpose. They learned, observed, absorbed everything their leader knew. Because deep down, they had already decided that one day they would lead. Ask yourself right now, are you following blindly, or are you preparing to lead? You see, leadership is not about a title or a position. It's about mindset. The person who says, I can do more, I can give more, I can learn more, is already on the path to leadership. But here's where most people fail. They never make that decision. They live their entire lives saying, someday. But someday is a lie. The clock is ticking, and every second you spend waiting, someone else is taking the lead that could have been yours. I want you to imagine this for a moment. You wake up tomorrow, and everything in your life changes. Not because someone gave you a chance, but because you took it. Imagine building something so powerful that people look at you and wonder, how did they do it? It's possible, and it starts with one decision. Stop being comfortable as a follower and commit to becoming a leader. Here's a secret most people will never tell you. All wealth, every fortune, every success story started with an idea. Not money, not luck, an idea. And ideas are worthless unless you have the courage to act on them. The man who built a billion-dollar business didn't start with billions. He started with a plan, persistence, and the courage to step forward when everyone else stayed behind. That's what separates leaders from followers. The courage to take the first step, even when you can't see the entire staircase. You have that power. Right now, you have within you the ability to rise, to lead, to build something extraordinary. But you must decide. Nobody can make this decision for you. Not your parents, not your boss, not your friends. It's on you. Will you be like the 95% who follow all their lives? Or will you join the 5% who lead, who create, who shape the future? If you think leadership is only for the chosen few, think again. Every great leader you admire was once an ordinary person with an extraordinary desire. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for perfect timing. They started with what they had, right where they were, and they made the decision to lead. That's it. That's the first step. And the best part, you can take that step right now. So let me ask you one more time. Which side will you choose? The side that waits or the side that creates? The side that hopes or the side that acts? Your life, your wealth, your legacy. It all begins the moment you decide to lead. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you are still watching this, then I know one thing about you. Deep down, you don't want an ordinary life. You want more freedom, more control, more purpose. And let me tell you something that could change everything for you. The road to leadership is not crowded. Do you know why? Because most people never take the first step. They think about it, they dream about it, they even talk about it, but when it's time to act, they hesitate. And that hesitation costs them the life they truly desire. The truth is, every follower has two choices: remain where they are, or step into leadership. But stepping into leadership requires courage, the courage to take responsibility for your own life, the courage to stop blaming circumstances, and the courage to believe in yourself even when no one else does. That courage is rare, and that is why leaders are rare. But the rewards? They're unlimited. Let's be clear. Leadership is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about power trips or controlling others. Real leadership is about creating value. It's about making decisions when others are afraid. It's about taking action when others stand still. The person who can do these things will never be broke, never be irrelevant, and never be replaceable. Why? Because the world rewards leaders with opportunities, influence, and wealth. Followers get what's left. Leaders decide what's next. I want you to think about something. Every innovation, every company, every breakthrough you've ever heard of started with one person saying, "There has to be a better way." That thought turned into a vision, and that vision turned into action. And that's what you need to do. Stop saying, "I can't because I don't have resources." Start asking, "How can I create resources?" Leaders ask better questions, and because of that, they get better answers. But here's the part that nobody talks about. Before you can lead others, you must learn to lead yourself. That means discipline. That means consistency. That means doing the hard things when nobody is watching. Leadership is not a position you earn from someone else. It's a standard you set for yourself. And when you raise that standard, everything changes. People notice. Opportunities notice. Money notices. Why? Because the market always pays a premium for leadership. Now, let's talk about something practical. How do you actually transition from follower to leader? First, you make the decision. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Decide that you will no longer settle for being average. Second, start where you are with what you have. Don't wait for the perfect plan, because it doesn't exist. Leaders build the plane while flying it. Third, surround yourself with people who challenge you. If everyone in your circle is comfortable, you will be comfortable. If they're hungry for growth, you will be hungry too. Energy is contagious. Make sure you're catching the right kind. And finally, develop skills that make you indispensable. Communication, problem solving, influence. These are not optional if you want to lead. Because here's the reality. Leadership is not given, it's earned. And the way you earn it is by becoming so valuable that people can't ignore you. Remember this. The marketplace doesn't pay for time. It pays for value. Followers trade time for money. Leaders trade ideas for wealth. Which one sounds better to you? You might be thinking, but I don't know if I'm ready. Let me tell you a secret. Nobody feels ready. The person you admire, the one you think was born confident, they were scared too. They doubted themselves. They had moments where they wanted to quit, but they didn't. They pushed through fear and uncertainty, and that's why you know their name today. So if you feel fear right now, good. That means you're human. That means you're on the right path. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a green light that says you're going somewhere important. Here's something you need to write down. Comfort is the enemy of growth. The moment you get comfortable, you stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying. Emotionally, financially, and spiritually. So if your life feels too easy right now, that's a warning sign. Leaders seek challenges because challenges build strength. So start seeking discomfort. Start doing the things you've been avoiding. That is how leaders are made. And don't make the mistake of thinking leadership is only for business. Leadership applies to every part of your life. Your family, your health, your future. If you can't lead yourself to eat better, to work out, to manage your time, how will you lead a team? How will you lead a company? Leadership starts at home and then it expands into the world. So ask yourself, what is one area of my life where I need to step up today? Start there. Now let me leave you with this thought. 100 years from now, nobody will remember the follower who played it safe, but they will remember the leader who dared to take a risk, who stood up when others stayed down, who created something that changed lives. That leader can be you. Yes, you, but only if you decide. So make that decision today. Say it out loud if you have to. I will lead. I will rise. I will create the life I deserve. Because once you say it and believe it, the world starts moving in your favor. Doors open. People appear. Opportunities line up. Why? Because the universe responds to clarity, and nothing is clearer than a burning decision. So, here's your challenge. Don't just watch this video and move on. Do something. Write down your decision. Take one step today, no matter how small. Because the difference between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It's not luck, it's action. So take it now. If you're still here, that tells me something very important. You're serious about this. You're not like the millions of people who click away when things get uncomfortable. You want to grow. You want to lead. And let me tell you a secret that the world hides from you. The fastest way to change your life is not by waiting for an opportunity. It's by creating one. Listen carefully, because this is where most people fail. They think leadership is about titles, positions, or luck. It's not. Leadership is about decision. The decision to take action when others freeze. The decision to stay committed when others quit. The decision to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Do you know what separates successful leaders from the rest? It's not IQ, it's not talent, it's persistence and vision. Think about this. Every person you admire, whether it's Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey, they all started with nothing but an idea and a willingness to lead themselves before leading others. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for a perfect moment. They started where they were, with what they had. And that is exactly what you need to do right now. So let me ask you a question. What's stopping you? Fear? Doubt? Lack of resources? Let me tell you something powerful. Fear is just energy, and you can turn it into action. Doubt is just a lack of clarity, and you can replace it with a decision. Lack of resources? That's temporary, because resources flow to people who refuse to quit. Leaders don't wait for the stars to align. They make their own stars. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You are exactly where you are today because of the decisions you made yesterday. And where you'll be 5 years from now depends on the decisions you make today. That's why this moment matters. You have a choice. You can keep consuming content, hoping for a miracle, or you can take responsibility and start creating the life you deserve. Now, let's make this practical. There are 3 steps that can transform you from a follower to a leader, faster than you ever imagined. Step 1. Build unshakable self-confidence. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build through action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you face fear and do it anyway, you build confidence. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start acting, and the confidence will follow. Step 2. Master the skill of influence. If you want to lead, you must learn to influence people, and influence starts with communication. How you speak, how you listen, how you make people feel. This is what separates leaders from followers. Remember this, people don't follow titles, they follow trust. And trust is built through clarity, honesty, and consistency. Step 3. Create a vision that pulls you forward. Followers drift. Leaders have a destination. What's yours? Write it down. Be specific. How much money do you want to make? What kind of life do you want to live? What impact do you want to create? Don't just think it, ink it. Because a vague plan produces vague results. Let me give you a story that will blow your mind. There was a young man who worked as an apprentice in a steel mill. No money, no degree, no connections. One day, he made a decision. I will become the leader in this industry. That man was Andrew Carnegie. Do you know what he did? He surrounded himself with brilliant minds. People who knew things he didn't. He created a mastermind group. Together, they built one of the greatest fortunes in history. Carnegie's wealth didn't come from his muscles. It came from his mind and his ability to lead. And that's the secret. Leadership is leverage. The more people you lead, the more value you create, the more income you generate. Followers trade time for money. Leaders create systems, ideas, and movements that multiply their time. That's why leaders are rich, not just financially, but in freedom, influence, and impact. Now, let me speak to that little voice in your head saying, "But I'm not ready. I don't have what it takes. Stop, right now." That voice has lied to you for too long. The truth is, you have everything you need to start. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to decide. Leaders are not born, they are made. And today can be the day you start making yourself into one. But here's the reality check. This won't happen overnight. You're going to face challenges. You're going to fail. And that's okay. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every failure teaches you something. Every setback builds your resilience. The only way you truly fail is by quitting. Remember this, quitters never win and winners never quit. Write that down. Repeat it every morning. Let it sink into your soul. Before we wrap this up, let me give you one last principle. Success loves speed. The faster you act on what you learn, the faster your life changes. Don't just watch this and nod. Do something now. Write down your vision. Make one phone call. Send one email. Read one book that can level up your skills. Just do something. Because action kills fear, and clarity comes from movement. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, leading a team, running your own business, living life on your terms. That's possible for you, but only if you act. The world is waiting for your leadership. Stop waiting. Start leading.